If you want to see what the lack of morals look like, if you want to see what a coward looks like, if you want to see what folks that are only interested in a particular kind of power is interested, you just have to listen to Bill Barr. This is a guy who wrote an op-ed today in the Post talking about it's time to move on from Donald Trump. But when asked, would you support Donald Trump if he was the person, the people in your party, the electors, the voters in your party selected, would you then vote for Donald Trump? Will your conscience allow you to elect Donald Trump, even though you said the guy, in other words, was a clear and present danger, even though you pointed out, yes, he was responsible for, yes, an insurrection, an attack on this country, the attempt of overthrowing this country? Would you still vote for this guy? Well, let's listen to Bill Barr.
If he had just exerted some self-control and discipline and dialed back his pugnacity and his nastiness a little bit, he would have won the presidency and had a second term. And he didn't do that. He failed. He didn't do what the whole country hoped, that he would rise to the occasion and rise to the office, and he didn't do that. So he's had his chance. He obviously does not have the qualities necessary to unite the party, which is the first step on the road back, and he should stand aside.
If Donald Trump were the nominee for the Republican Party again, would you support him?
Well, I'm just hoping it never comes to that, because I think it would be a tragedy if he's our nominee, if he's the Republican nominee.
Could you vote against him? Could you vote not for the Republican if Donald Trump were the Republican nominee?
Well, again, I think it gets down to what I said, which is I would have to make the judgment at that point, the impact on the country, and I'll have to see what's going on in the world, who the Democratic nominee is. If it's a progressive Democratic nominee, I can't imagine voting for him.
But ideologically progressive versus somebody who orchestrated an attack on the Capitol, who betrayed his oath to the Constitution, as you said in your words, you still might vote for him.
Mm-hmm. Depending on all this, it's hard for me to project what the future holds. The question is always a comparative one. You have to make a choice between two people. I don't believe in throwing my vote away on a third party.
You don't rule out supporting President Trump again?
No, I don't.
Now, this is what I'm talking about. This is where the lack of ethics within the Republican Party leadership. This is what it's all about, folks. We tend to believe that somehow these guys are moral, that somehow these guys put country first, that somehow these guys put life first. They don't. I mean, the insurrectionists under the direction of Donald Trump killed a lot of folk. And I'm not only talking about the folks on the 6th. I'm talking about the folks who, because of their policies, caused what we see on the streets, the guns on the streets, etc., etc., etc. These guys have no moral compass. These guys are completely and entirely immoral, hypocrites, and cowards. That is the only way one could define the leadership on the right. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number 1, subscribe to our channel. And number 2, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.